being clicked up and being around brothers, and I'm a part of a wolf pack. I just have a wolf pack mentality when it comes to my brothers and sisters because I like community. So, back then I was just looking at it like, look, my daddy ain't here, so I'm finna go find my daddy in the streets. You know what I'm saying? Look, my mom ain't around right now, so I'm finna go find my mom and a woman. So I took all of those and I did bad with it, but only I just had to change my focus and my energy. So once I got it, and once I attacked my heart and learned from that, and I had a second chance to redo life, I said, I'm going to take all of this information that I know and I'm going to change it. I'm going to take the spirit of the warrior that I got. I'm going to take that leadership spirit I got. I'm going to take all these things that my grandmother passed down to me, and I'm going to use this to help heal my people because I was out here hurting my people. You know what I'm saying? I was out here hurting my body, doing drugs, smoking, drinking, eating all types of meats, eating against my biological nature. So I said, I'm going to take the same way that I would have died for one of my clique members. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to die for everybody that look like me in the name of goodness, though. And that's it. So, it was the character that I kept seeing come up. Like the character never changed. The leadership, being a provider, being proactive, being a producer, being a warrior, and being a servant to the community never changed. I was just a servant in a bad way. Now I'm a servant in more of a righteous, good way.
Excellent. And I think what's beautiful, my brother, and shout out to this brother right here. Let me inform y'all of this brother in the chat. This is one of Yahki's peoples, his manager, Mikael Nabi. Make sure if you want information about Yahki, don't talk to anybody but this brother right here. Don't talk to it. There's a lot of scams going on right now. If he's in the chat, you talk to him. Anybody, y'all know King Simon, of course, he's the moderator. He will share Yahki's website, but you talk to this brother right here. All right. Shout out to Nabi. Nabi's always been a great brother to deal with and do business with. You are extremely blessed, Yahki, to have a brother like this on your team. All right.
Yeah, he's a good brother. He's a good elder, man, and a good counselor, man. Like he give me, that's my OG. Whenever I go through a hardship, he's been around a few times. So, whenever I go through a hardship or I just got a question that I can't seem to dig out myself, since he's been around a few times, hey, elder, not be Mikhail. That's the question I got for you. What do you think? Because he's so experienced and he always come from just a OG level status to what he doing. He's full of wisdom, man. And I appreciate that, brother, dearly.
When we have public figures, important figures, popular figures, whatever term you want to use, celebrities, like let's say a brother blows up off of he's a Hebrew Israelite, right? And he has this huge following, Yahki. He's a Hebrew Israelite. Not I'm talking about the brothers that be in the street, right? And he may get information that evolves his consciousness, but it's hard for him to tell the people because the people already have a certain system that he taught them or she taught them. So we rarely get speakers. It could be the Nation of Islam, it could be Hebrew, it could be Christianity. You may create a whole nation of people, right? And you teach them about Jesus. Then one day you may be like, damn, maybe Jesus didn't exist. But you're not going to tell the people that because they believe what you originally told them.
Well, they not going to tell the people that. I'm going to catch the people up.
Listen. That's where I'm getting, brother. Okay. Hold up. Hold your horses, Yahki. Hold your horses, Yahki. What's beautiful about you, brother, is seeing, and this is rare, because I seen the greats. I'm young, but I seen videos of Dr. John Henry Clark and Dr. Ben and Bobby or whatever. You know what I seen in you? I seen if you see Dr. Sadie, right? And he was consistent with what he said. The difference with you is you're evolving in front of us. Yeah. Right in front of us, and we don't even know it. We don't even realize it. Doc, listen, Yahki is doing something that we don't see from probably 95% of the other teachers. He's evolving in front of us. And Yahki may be like, shit, you know what I believed 3 years ago? I don't even go with that. That's so hard, Yahki, the ego. Family, I really need y'all to listen to me, and I know I'm hyped for a good reason. I got Dr. Yahki on my show. But listen, it's so hard for a speaker to tell you something in 2025 and then in 2028 say, damn, you know what I discovered, y'all? I may have been a little off, or I just discovered this, so I got to take this into consideration. That's hard. That's a hard thing to do, and I see you do it all the time, brother.
You have
So
to,
I
because
gotta
information is
commend you, brother. The evolution of Yahki in front of my eyes, brother.
information evolve, man. Like, you know, the whole purpose of us having consciousness, you know, seated inside of these vessels that we call body is to experience reality.
Yeah.
You know, the more and more you experience, the more you collecting this data and this information that's being fed to you in this third dimensional realm of density, it changes because it evolves. So if it evolves and it updates, you have to update with it. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, I have my own laboratory. We got our own clinics. We have a lot of stuff. So as you applying the knowledge and you start doing experiments, and then you get different outcomes, and then you do those same experiments and the outcome is different than what you taught. Because I used to be a regurgitator. I started off as a regurgitator. I had the intellect.
That's deep. That's deep.
I had the mental capacity to remember. There's a difference between remembering and literally learning something, applying it, doing comparative studies, experiencing it after the experiment, and then teaching the people. So when I've been doing this for almost 15 years. When I first started off, I was a regurgitator of Dr. Sabi. I was a regurgitator of Dr. Layla Africa. I was a regurgitator of Dr. Morse. I was a regurgitator of Dr. Ben Clark. I was a regurgitator. So I learned the information. It resonated with my spirit, with my soul. It felt good. So I didn't feel the necessity or the need to apply the information to oneself, seeing what it do to me after I'd applied the knowledge. As soon as I heard it, since I was so good at memory, my mind is like a sponge. I can remember anything, and I can say it back to you, and I can say it back to you in a way that I can explain it, and you will be able to understand it. But I wasn't applying it and testing it. So one day I had an elder of mine from Alton, Illinois. They said, look, we need to start applying all these things because you wrong about this. And I had ego then. He's like, you wrong about this. And look, matter of fact, I'll tell you, it was my Uncle James. He's like, you wrong about this particular subject. You need to do the research and the study yourself. And I ended up doing it, and I was wrong. So from that point on, I said, well, anything that I hear, whether it sound good or not, because preachers sound good. Why they take your money? They sound good in church. The spirit get the moving, you jumping around, they sing a song, you start crying, you start thinking about sins you committed 4 years ago. But then once you start, but if you apply it and you look up what they say that's in the Bible, it wasn't even there. So what I started doing was I started counting every man a liar. Yeah, you sound good, but let me go research this. Yeah, it feels good and it resonates with my spirit, but let me do my own experiment. Let me do my own thing. So once I started doing my own things, my outcomes was different. So now I got to go back and say, hey, look, I said this 5 years ago off of regurgitation. I'm saying this now and it sounds different because not only information changed, it evolved, and I'm evolving too. And this is what I've learned being in this game for so long. You have to remain a student and you have to remain teachable. The moment you think you know everything and the moment you tell somebody that you are not wrong, that's the moment that you shut off your cipher from the universe, and the universe will no longer feed you any of the gifts or the intellectual properties and things that you need to move further in life with your specific genre that you in. So me, I'm always open-minded. I'm never closed-minded to anything. Only thing I'm closed-minded to is things that go against my morals. That's it. Other than that, hey, I'm an open mind. I'm gonna listen to it. If it resonates with me, I'm gonna take those bits and pieces. I'm gonna do my own experiments on them. And then if my outcome come out to the outcome of yours and mine was different, I'm gonna say, hey, look, this is a different outcome, y'all. We have to take this into consideration. And if the outcome stay my outcome, I'm not the person to say I was right and you was wrong. I'm gonna say, hey, maybe I understand that, but look, I just did this, and what I said, I'm backing it up. Maybe you need to do the research. Maybe you need to do the experiment. And I pray to God that you're not moving and operating in ego, and that you'll be able to humble yourself and be like, hey, brother, Dr. Yahki, you was right. So I'm not here for the piss contest or none of that. I hear a lot of people that look just like me mention my name in every last one of their videos. Y'all don't hear me mentioning nobody name because I'm in I'm in a genre in a league of my own. I don't feel the need to talk about anybody or bring anybody up to feel important. And also, I will never get on a public platform, whether I hate a person or not. If he of my complexion and we from the same gene and tribe, I'm not going to speak about you in a public platform in a down way. I'm gonna salute you. I'm gonna say peace be unto you. Hey, and when you get a chance, come holler at me in person, but we can hash out what we got going on. We have to quit getting on these platforms, downing each other in front of everybody, making ourselves look like fools. And again, I come up from the streets. We handle business and we politic behind closed doors. You never do that on a platform exposing another brother that look just like you to the community, because it makes all of us look like asses. So that's just how I always operated. I'm not a person that's just on a high horse. I know that any given time that I can transition out of this realm. I know that any given time somebody can come on the scene and know more than me. I know any given time somebody can do a new study that show a different outcome than the studies I've been doing, because technology is growing and information change. So me, in order for me to stay relevant, in order for me to stay in the game, in order for me to serve my people the best that I can, I allow my mind to be open-ended. I'm teachable, brother.
Mm-hmm. You know, one of the things I've heard is that we shouldn't you know, you go to a restaurant, they're like, well, what would you like to drink? Like, my name is Richard, man. What would you like to drink, Richard, or whatever they know your name? What would you like to drink along with your meal? And you have your meal and you have your drink and you're eating and you're drinking. And several of the teachers, Dr. Africa, say, yeah, you're not supposed to drink and eat at the same time. Eat and then you drink a little later. What I want to ask you is, one thing that's a part of our culture is eating and talking. How is eating something we shouldn't talk while we're eating? Should we focus primarily on eating? No talking, no drinking, none of that. How does eating and holding a conversation affect the digestion of the very thing you're eating, Yahki?
It's a very, very good question. In my book, Healing the Illusion We Call Disease, I have a chapter called Ingestion. And it's talking, it says the digestion before the bite, what's happening before you even eat the food. So, and I start the chapter off talking about, you know, prayer and sending out gratifications and sending out affirmations or affirming over your food before you eat it. This already set a tone neurologically to actually have digestive enzymes. The precursor starts activating inside of your body. So now the hydrochloric acid in your stomach is getting ready to receive the food. Your pepsin and all of your different digestive enzymes are starting to be activated, waiting for you to receive the food to break it down. So
you talking about food foreplay, my nigga?
Hey, I mean, technically that's what it is. But look, think about it though. So look, abracadabra is a Hebrew word. It means I create what I speak. We know that, you know, the world function off of vibrations and sounds. We know that the sun function off vibration and sounds. These vibrations and sounds sends out photons. These photons materialize what you would call the invisible to the visible off the light spectrum. So the same thing happened with your sounds and the words that come from your vessel. So, you know, before you eat food, and I'm talking about food, whether it's good or bad, because there have been studies showing people eating bad food. And I'm not promoting eating bad food at all. I hope we get into this, but I'm just showing you the power of the mind and of your words. Where people would eat bad food but speak good affirmations and give the food gratitude, and they are still able to break down that food efficiently and actually have a defecation and get rid of it. They go through a full digestive process, other than somebody that is short-willed, that have a short temper and don't have any patience, and that their belly is their God. And as soon as they see the food, they just swallow it down real fast. They don't speak over the food. They don't have good conversations while eating the food. You know, the food is going to digest itself different. So the question you asked was, can you have a conversation while eating your food, or should you be focused on just eating the food? No. Food is communion, not only with God and yourself, and the food is communion with the food that God created and for your body, but it's also communion, and it brings family together. That's the reason why back in the days, and the reason why I'm saying back in the days, because a lot of families don't do it no more. They ate together. They sat down at a table and they ate and they communed together. Hopefully the conversation is good, because if you having bad conversations, you shouldn't be eating. If you and your significant other is into it, I suggest you don't have her make your meal, because these different energies play a role on the food. You see what I'm saying? So, but yeah, this is scientifically proven, and it is actually in my book in the ingestion chapter that your thoughts while you're eating, the conversation you have and while you eating your food, all play a significant role on how the food actually metabolically break down in your body. Just the smell of certain foods going through your senses, the smell, the touch of the texture. That's the reason why you're supposed to eat with your fingers and you're not supposed to use spoons, forks, and utensils, because you have to create this type of intimate relationship with your food. When you touch your food and you eat it, it lets your stomach know, okay, I'm only big enough to take this much food in. Scientifically proven, when you touch your food and you eat it, your stomach release certain chemicals like a measuring factor, and you be like, okay, 3 bites, I know I'm full. If you do it with a spoon and fork, since you're not using those senses or those sensories, now you just eat until you full and you don't know it. Same thing with smell. It's good to smell your food. Actually give it a good whiff before you eat it, and tasting it. And notice who do it. The person that does all this is the person that's cooking the food. And that's the reason why once they done cooking the food, they ain't hungry no more.